Okay, ma, in this second video, 10th class students, we are going to learn what are the other words added in the preamble. We discussed in the last video about democracy, and number 2 is sovereign country. Nothing but, I told you, supreme power. So which country is to be called as a sovereign country? Which country does not bend its head before any other country? Which country does not bend its head before any other country is to be called a sovereign country. And we are proving India is also a sovereign country because India does not bend its head before any other country. Example, in the world, America, Russia, China, all these more population countries also existing, more money, more income also existed, more weapons and powerful superpower countries also existing. Example, Russia, America called as superpower countries, and they have even veto power in the UNO. Though they are greater than our India in economy and in the weapons and in the other aspects, India does not bend its head before those countries. India is behaving independently. It means a country which is behaving independently on its internal and on its external affairs. This is to be called a sovereign country. And it means a country which can take its own decisions itself. So a country which is taking its decisions without depend upon any country. It means India never accept any other country's second country's involvement in solving its problem. So India's internal problem, India's external issues are being solved by India only. And without our permission, we can't accept any other country's involvement in our political, economical, cultural, religion, and other aspects. India does not accept any other country's intervention, involvement. So, a country which is behaving independently on its internal and on its external affairs, that country is to be called as a sovereign country. So, this is the definition you have to write in your notes. So, then you can understand what is the sovereign country, and then come to know secular country, third one. And in the word secular and in the word socialist, if we see the two words combined which are given in the preamble, secular, first we have to see secular, socialist, these two words have been added to the Indian constitutional preamble through 42nd amendment in 1976. And according to this 42nd amendment means already we discussed, it is a process of removing or adding any points or any principles from our constitution to our constitution is to be called amendment. Already Indian constitution was 99 times amended by the parliament. It is only power giving to the parliament to amend the constitution, acts, and the articles and any other principles with 2/3 majority. And we have to see here secular, socialist, two words have been incorporated in our Indian constitution through 42nd amendment in 1976. It means 1976 onwards, India is not only a democratic and sovereign, it is also called as a democratic, sovereign, and the third one secular, and fourth one socialist country. Now we have to see what is the meaning of secular country. By the word we can understand secular country, a country which is providing security to all the religion people is called secular country. Do we accept India is providing security for all the religions in our India? Yes, Because in our India, Hindus are majoritarians, definitely, and Muslims, Christians are minority people. Who are called majority? Who are called minority? Which religion people number is living more in the country? Those are to be called as majoritarians. And whose number is less? Which religion people number is less? Those are called minority. According to this definition, except Hindus, all remaining religions are called minority people. And though Hindus are more in our India, and in your observation, Hindus are giving any special preference by our India? Not. Though in our India, Hindus are living more, or Muslims are less, Christians are less, Jains, Buddhists, Parsis, all these also very, very less in number. But what facilities are providing to the Hindus, same facilities are provided to the Muslims, Christians, Jains, Buddhists, and other religions. And if we talk in this topic, compared to Hindus, those other religion people only are given more facilities in the form of reservations, because reservations are not applicable to the majoritarian Hindus. Except Hindus, remaining all religion people have been taking reservation facilities in job and in education. Okay, ma? It means security. Which government is providing security to all the people? That government is to be called as a secular government. And what is the correct meaning of secular government? What is the meaning of secularism? A country which does not comprise its own official religion is called a secular country. A country does not comprise its own official religion is called a secular country. And number two, definition number two, a country does not involve, country's government does not involve in the matters of religion is also called as a secular country. The third one, a country which keeps aside all the religion affairs from the government administration. It means the government does not touch with the religion matters. It means the government does not involve in our religion matters. Though we are joining as Hinduism, though we are celebrating Hindu festivals or Muslim festivals or Christian festivals, government is not inquiring why are you joined in Christianity or Islam or Hinduism likewise. It means in the eyes of the government, all religion people are equal. All religion people are equal, but we have to recognize one important thing. Though in our India, religious freedom is giving to choose any one religion which we like, but we are not giving right to criticize. We are taking one religion and that we can encourage it, no problem. But we are in one religion and we have to criticize other religion is a crime. That should not be done. So no person is given right to criticize other religion. Because why? In India all religions are equal. That is one universal concept never see in any in other countries, maximum in the world. Example, we go to Pakistan. We can't call Pakistan as a secular country because they are openly saying that Islam religion is our national religion, official religion. But we go to the Italy, where the Roman Catholic Christians are living. Rome announced Christianity is our official religion. But India did not announce. Though majority people are Hindus, it did not announce Hinduism is the official religion of India. Did not. Why? India is loving all religions. India is believing. Though Hinduism was the ancient religion, though in the coming days the number of other religions also adding in our India. Suppose Europeans came, they converted some of the Hindus into Christians. Islam rulers came, They converted some of the Hindus into Muslims. It means previously the present Christians, present Muslims also once upon a time a part in Hinduism. Did you understand what I am saying? That's why our India has been following secular policy. And if we take the fourth definition, in which country all religions are equal before the eyes of the government, that is also to be called as a secular country. And last one, in which country government neither encourages any religion nor discourages any religion, is also called as a secular country. And then can you prove our India is a secular country? Yes, because in India no official religion, all religions are there, but government does not discourage any religion, does not encourage religion. If it is giving preference to all religions. That's why we can say purely India is a secular country. Then come to know India is a socialist country. I told you socialist, secular, two words are incorporated in our Indian constitutional preamble through 42nd Amendment in 1976. And what is the meaning of socialist country? A country which does not comprise economical imbalances between poor and rich. A country which does not possess the economical imbalances between poor and rich is to be called a socialist country. It means which country have no economical inequalities. Which country has no economical inequalities between poor and rich is also called a socialist country. That's why in India we are adopting a policy of India is a socialist country. In this context you can ask one doubt, sir, in India poor and rich economical differences are there, so that how can we call India is a socialist country? And as you said that in socialist country no economical differences are there, that's why how can we call India as a socialist country though India has economical imbalances are there, rich and poor. Example, in India per month 1 lakh, 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 5 lakh, 10 lakh and some more amount also earning persons also living. In the same country per month only 1000, 2000 earning persons also living. It means very poor, very rich. It means I am saying the bridge, the gap between poor and rich is very, very more in our India. But in if we follow the socialism, slowly we can reduce the gap between rich and poor. You can ask, sir, suppose we take a socialist policy, how it is possible in reducing the gap between poor and rich? We can say our India has been implementing some important concepts. Example, reservation. Through reservations, just I told you in secular policy, through reservations who are backward in our society, who are economically backward, religious wise backward, community backward, for all these persons we are providing reservation, and we are encouraging them in providing free education, free facilities, and free house construction, and in jobs also we are giving reservations for them. But according to my knowledge, what I am saying, providing jobs, high cadre jobs to the inefficient candidate is making our country towards the backward side. Example, we are giving a designation, highest designated post to a normal common person, and that type of responsibility posts should be given to the intelligence only, because an intelligent can think more than a common man about our country, about our society development. That's why reservations based on religion is not good activity. But I am accepting reservations should be based on economical basis. Who are poor? Yes, who are very poor, we can provide them all facilities, free education, free housing and free facilities, we can accept it. And that's why in our India, reservations are providing by government of India to all the poor people and the backward people. And one more thing, what is the original meaning of a socialist country? A country which is distributing the total wealth of the country equally to all the people. In which country wealth means economy, money. So wealth of the people are supplying to all the people equally. In which country? That country is to be called as a socialist country. Frederick Engel, Karl Marx, Saint Simon, Louis Blanc, all these were the world famous socialist persons. And they told what? Sir, in maximum countries in the world, total wealth of the countries are completely concentrated only in the hand of some rich person's hand. So we have to decentralize that money and take the money to the government from the hand of private rich persons, and we have to distribute that money in the form of welfare programs providing minimum facility to all the poor people, so that we can delete the economical differences between haves and have-nots. That's why in our India successfully these plans are implemented. That's why we can say, though India is not to be called as a pure socialist country, it has been trying to become a socialist country because it has been following reservation, and it is trying to distribute national wealth equally among all the people, and number of states are implementing welfare programs to all the people. So by all these reasons we can call what India is a secular and a socialist country.